Greetings.
Hi, how are you?
I'm listening.
Great to meet you.
I've been expecting you.
For the good
You
of
come
all.
get the voodoo.
Hey there.
And you are?
Light be with you.
Great to
You come to consult the spirits?
Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde?
Sail here, me buy and trade. What?
Sail here, me buy and trade. What?
Hello and welcome to Ctrl Alt WoW, the podcast for those of us who love World of Warcraft and other video games and virtual reality and love making many alts. Today is Sunday, October 9th, 2022, and this is episode 766 entitled Insurmountable Odds versus the Kobyashi Maru. Today is a good day to die. I'm a brilliant your host, and with me is my awesome co-host, Constrax. Hey, Constrax. How are you?
I'm a little bit fatigued, but I feel great otherwise.
Okay, and of course we want to get a shout out to Grand Negus. He can't be with us, but he will be back, and we miss him, and we apologize to all the Final Fantasy XIV fans. Ooh, say that 4 times.
4 times fast, yeah.
Fast, yes. We have lost we have no tidbits, as it were, of Final Fantasy XIV. I do want to say the title is all Constructs, even though it technically is a mixture of 2 different ideas.
Yes. It's got Star Trek versus...
no, it's both Star Trek.
And Star Wars, pretty much.
No, there's no Star Wars in that.
Really?
Kobyashi Maru.
Luke Skywalker taking on the Death Star? That's not Insurmountable Odds?
Oh, that was the Insurmountable
That's where I'm coming from.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
intent, at least.
But, okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. All right. But, Kobyashi
I like the Kobyashi Maru personally.
Right, and
better.
a good time to die. Today is a good time to die is more of a
that's Worf.
That's Worf. That's a Klingon. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Deep Space Nine.
Yes. All right. So, how have you been? How's your week?
I have been uber busy. I was not having any luck. Waiting for people to join me in the game.
Wait,
my
we're
buddy
doing
who I played.
That's your segment.
Oh,
we're doing pre-game
yeah.
banter now.
Right. Sorry.
Don't give up your
I'm all over.
content. Yeah.
I'm all over the place.
So now we talk about how's the weather? Did you get out and do anything fun? How many more days do you have left on your vacation, or is it already over?
I go back Tuesday. Tomorrow is my last day of vacation. I'm completely exhausted. I need to go back to work so I can rest and get my routine back.
And
that's what I do. Is that I play hard when I'm on vacation, and when I go back to work, I rest.
And how's the weather? Is it cold
26
yet?
degrees outside. 26 degrees outside. It's horribly hot. We have a fruit fly infestation in my building. There's about 50 flies in my apartment, and they're multiplying faster and faster and faster. Every time I go into a different room, I kill 5 to 6 flies.
Oh, how awful!
And I go back in the other room, and I kill 5 more, 6 more. And I talk to somebody in the elevator. It's like that on every floor. Every floor has a fly infestation right now.
Oh my God! Well, you know what we had? What I had was these tiny mosquitoes, and they were biting me. But
yeah, they sprayed a few weeks ago for those where I am.
Oh, we don't spray here, but it was funny because I was the only one who was biting. I would ask other people. One of my neighbors' husbands was getting bitten, but most people were not. But now that it's cooler, they've gone away. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
It actually got 50 degrees here, which is
What's that in Celsius? We have to ask Siri. Siri knows everything.
Yeah. Siri, what is 59 degrees in Celsius? Hey Siri, what is 59 degrees in Celsius? I'll do it the hard way. I can just change it in the settings. Okay, so 12. So you're 26?
I'm at 26, yeah. 26, and it's 96% humidity, and it hasn't rained for 4 weeks. There's a fire 10 miles east, and they can't put out the fire because they don't have enough firefighters. So they just contain it a little bit.
Oh my goodness. When I walked today, I had to put my neck muffler on because it was cool, but I can still wear my...
Oh, really?
Wear my
I wish it was 12 at night here. If it was 12 at night, we'd be able to sleep better. But I only sleep 2.5 hours, 3 hours a day because it's so damn hot. You wake up, you have to have a shower so you can go back to bed. Dude, I don't know if you ever watched Red Dwarf. Lister used to put his pillow in the freezer so it'd be cool, and then he would turn it over, and then he would go into the other freezer, and you had another pillow there. The switch.
So, I got my booster shot and my flu shot, so I'm all. And I was a little bit surprised because I didn't realize my last shot was last October. So I had gone a year without a shot. But
right.
I mean,
what about your boost? Did you get Dragonflight?
No,
Did you buy a boost?
I have not. That's content. We're gonna do that later.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. And what else did I want to talk about? I guess that I said, yeah, I guess that's about it. That's all the pre-show banter. Let's get into what's going on in WoW this week.
1 sec.
So Dark Moon Fair is over, and
whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
We have Fated Raids, Sanctum of Domination, which begins. We have PvP Brawl, Deepwind Dunk, which begins. We have Shadowlands Dungeon Event, which ends. We have Pet Battle Bonus Event, which begins. We have Comp Stomp, which ends the PvP Brawl. And we have Fated Raid Castle Nathria, which ends on Tuesday. It varies between 5, 7, and 8 a.m., depending on what the different activity is. I'm not going to go into it. You can look it up if you want to participate.
Right. And then, of course, the big thing next week, and we'll talk about that next week as well, is Hallows Inn starts. Nice.
Yes, go get your macabre marionette.
And lots of XP just from trick-or-treating. All right.
Yep. If you want to level, I don't know when... the Draktheirs are coming out, because when the Draktheirs come out, they turn off that Winds of Wisdom, 50% buff to X.
Oh, that's what we have right now, the Winds of Wisdom.
Yeah. So if you want to level alt, I'm leveling about 12 low-level characters.
And there's also the Sign of the Warrior. The final boss of each Shadowlands dungeon will drop an extra item.
That ends on Tuesday.
Yes. All right. Well, let's get going with our week.
I've had a fantastic weekend. Wow. It's very comforting. Those battlegrounds where you're not necessarily putting out more damage, but you feel like you're contributing more by pushing all the buttons all at once. Bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Constructs, how's your weekend WoW been?
Sorry, I was muted. My weekend WoW has been really, really good. I tried different things. to make gold in the game, and I was more or less successful. And on Thursday, I give away like 140K on my guildies on BlackRock to buy mounts and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And to give away mats to craft mounts, because I have a buddy who's trying to get enough gold to buy tokens so he can buy the expansion. And he's telling me he's going to buy the base edition of the game. I'm like, why don't you go for Epic? You get a $60 boost and you get a monthly free game time. So Epic pays for itself. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, you should. You're a gold maker. If you know what you're doing, you should have enough gold to spread the love, right?
Right, yeah.
And he doesn't quite get it. But, I'm going to try and funnel some gold to him, get him some mats so he can make more gold, so he can either get it faster or wait a little bit longer and get the Epic. He's a medical student, so I don't know how he even plays the game, because the field of medicine, he's studying to be a doctor. That's some long hours studying. I don't know how you manage to play WoW, any WoW, when you're studying to become a doctor. Do you have any family members who are doctors?
No, but I know it takes a lot. I have a nephew.
I have a lot of family members who are nurses, but nurses isn't quite as daunting to undertake those studies.
I have a nephew who's a lawyer, and that was a lot of work.
Oh yeah, they make $400 an hour if they give you free advice. You better take the free advice. Yeah, I've been there. I've met some of those people. Lawyers, notaries, all the professionals who charge big bucks to give you some free advice. I'm like, take the advice. It's worth it. I bought a new keyboard, and sadly, I bought a keyboard that has clicking sound every time you push a key.
Oh, no.
So I don't know if there's a feature on Zoom for push to talk, but I'm like, yeah, that's not good. I didn't realize before I bought the keyboard that it was going to be a tactile keyboard. It's a gaming keyboard. That's what they are now. Like, it could suffer 2 million keystrokes before failing, but my 13-year-old keyboard kind of given up the ghost. It's like all the letters are worn off on my left hand, which is my mouse hand. Like, the letters are fine, but my ASDF for movement keys,
right?
All the letters are completely gone. Like, there's nothing left there. I'm trying to retrieve my email that I sent to Ctrl. Wow, it's not there.
I posted it in the doc. So if you scroll down in the show notes.
I didn't see it. Or maybe I did it. I'm doing it wrong. I'm going to go into my sent documents. I'm sure it's there.
It's in your show notes, right under your.
Yeah. I was explaining.
Oh no, it's not. I'm sorry, my bad. Give me 1 second. I thought I did it. I'm so bad. Hold on.
That's why I was asking for help. I'm a little bit lost today. I'm going to tell the listeners what I did Friday night. I explained to my wife that I had an appointment with a guild member. And she goes, "You're wasting so much time with your friends." I go, "No, you don't get it. If somebody offers to help you, you take the help." And she goes, "I don't understand." And I told her, I said, Wing the Quick, he's a great guy. He's a father to multiple kids. He has a dog. He has a wife. He raids 3 times a week. And he does all kinds of different things. And he told me, he goes, "I can meet you in like 4 hours." And I said, "I don't have 4 hours. I need help in 1 hour or 15 minutes. So he helped me. We went to Torghast. We did a layer 10 because he has unlocked the layer 12 on Torghast. So we were able to do better than what I could do on my rogue. And he brought his Worgen Druid. And when we finished, it took about 20 minutes. When we finished, he said, "I can help you again in 2 weeks because I work every second Saturday." I'm like, that's somebody who's really generous with their time, who raids 3 times a week, and who's like, they go all the way for their teammates. And I'm like, I had to beg. I pretty much had to beg for his help because Grand Nagus isn't there. And Grandis hasn't been playing WoW for over 100 weeks now. It's been 2 years. So his Warlock wasn't getting the love that he wanted. So he played his Warrior for a little bit, then he stopped playing when the lawsuit started. So they're like, well, it's only 105 weeks. It's only one player. And I'm like, no, Grand Negus would help me every week when I needed something. He'd help me with my reporting setup. He'd help me with this. He'd help me with that. He'd come right away when I needed help. He didn't keep me waiting for 4 hours. And then basically Wingy he was Uber. His druid interrupted everything because I said, we're fighting a boss that's like Oranimos in Ardenweald. I said, if it gets one cast off, it heals itself to full and we wipe. So we have to interrupt absolutely every single cast and then we won't be taking damage. And then the thing dropped that I do 30% more damage as long as I'm in combat. So I saved that for the end. So when we got to the boss, he goes, we can't take down this boss where there's only 2 melee. He goes, we need a caster or somebody to silence it. I go, no, we got this. I go, you got a knockback. I got 3 interrupts. I got a stun. I got a blind. And I got a kick. I go, you have Skull Bash. You have not the sunbeam thing, but he has a knockback where the druid pushes back all this stuff in front of him. So I go, as long as we keep interrupting everything, we're going to get this down. We got him down in about 6 minutes. So it took 12 minutes to get to the boss, 6 minutes to kill the boss. I got enough soul ash to upgrade my legendary ring to 291.
Oh,
Grand Negus got me started on the legendary ring back in the day. He was on the show when I first got it. I upgraded it from 190 to 235 with his help because I wanted to understand how legendaries work. And I haven't touched it since. That was 105 weeks of not being able to do the content because I just don't have more than 5-10 minutes a day to play. So what I would do is I would do the auction house during the week on my transmute masters and on my flask master, and I would make gold. I made about 3.5 million gold. Well, now it's end of expansion, and I need help to finish doing some stuff. Hey, Dreadnought, thanks for coming to the chat room. He says, I love Control Out Well. Thanks much for everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I made 3.5 million gold during this expansion, just selling bottles and sand mostly. And now it's end of expansion, and I'll clear my bags. And so I'm liquidating my gold to get some friends on Battle Tag. And my Battle Tag actually is malfunctioning every day. It's not showing me who's on because I have over 100 Battle Tag friends. So it's not prioritizing the people I want to play with. So if I play Horde side, I can't see my alliance friends who are on.
Oh.
So my buddy, I have to keep a character on Thorium Brotherhood alliance side. So if my buddy logs on, I can see that he's on. Otherwise, he could be on the whole day. I don't know he's there. Battle Tag is not able to handle because so many people are joining the game. So I'm finding clever ways to make gold and helping people and whatnot, and doing group content while I'm on vacation. Because once I go back to work, I got 5 to 10 minutes a day to play. I got 8 to 10 hours a day of wife aggro. I got to do 3 loads of laundry every day. Doing a load of laundry takes me between 2 and 4 hours, depending on how tired I am. So just like Wing to Quick, I'm super busy. I don't know how Lita manages to do Iron Man. That just blows my mind. Where do you find the time to level something, and if it doesn't get the cap, you delete it? It's incredible. I have so much admiration for her, and I made an appointment with Wingy in 2 weeks. We're going to have another 15 to 20 minutes. I'm hoping to do Torghast 12 flawless. So we're probably going to go back to the same wing because we had like a 98%, 96%, 98% clear, which means we missed one mob in the whole floor. So, but that was only a layer 10. You don't get nothing for layer 10. You have to do layer 12 on flawless to get the hand mount, where you ride a thing that looks like the crawling claw from archaeology.
Right.
So I want to get that. But if I can get it for my buddy as well, I'll try and make sure he's available, and I'll get Wingy to help us, and then we just need a healer and another DPS to interrupt. When we get to the final boss, we're going to breeze through this. You can't leave any of the chests unlocked. You have to unlock all the chests. Every player have to loot absolutely everything in Torghast. So it's an adventure to get that mount, but it's doable. I'm hoping that my friend is on more in 2 weeks because I'm going back to work on Tuesday and I'm not going to have time to play with him at all. So my plan is to avoid the Disney storyline. And by that, I mean, in Disney storyline, you have Bambi who loses her mother at the opening of the show, and then the show goes on, and Bambi finishes happily ever after at the end of the show, even though you killed Bambi's mother at the start. That's not a good story. And Walt Disney repeats the same story over and over and over. Let's kill the father, or let's kill somebody you care about at the start of the show, get the tears flowing, and then at the end of the show, everybody lives happily ever after. That is not how you tell a story. J.R.R. Tolkien with Steven Spielberg, they told the story of the Lord of the Rings. Gandalf fights the Balrog. Okay? So they're crossing the bridge, and not Bilbo. What's the name of the Hobbit? Frodo? Frodo decides.
I have no idea. I have never seen any of those.
Oh
movies.
Wow!
I did read one of the books a long time ago, but
I read.
Isn't the Hobbit Bilbo Baggins?
Bilbo was like the uncle of Frodo.
Oh, of Frodo. Okay, gotcha.
So, Lord of the Rings is basically this epic story that tells a story about war, losing a child, and fighting the good fight until the end, until you get delivered from the evil or the enemy that is all-powerful type of deal. It's a good story, but it has the heroes returning at the end to their village where everything's been destroyed, and they have to rebuild from scratch, and the four of them sit in the tavern telling the stories of these four different factions that they had to join to succeed in the war. And all the little hobbits, like the gnomes, had to go different places. They don't wear shoes because, they want breakfast, mid-morning breakfast, and afternoon breakfast. Anyway, Gandalf is this mage who's super powerful, and he has to fight the Balrog, which is like this big demon like Ragnaros. So Gandalf fights the Balrog on this bridge, and he doesn't win right away. You don't know what happens to him in book one because he falls off the cliff, and as he's falling, he grabs the edge of the cliff, and Frodo looks back, all worried his friend's gonna die, his mentor, and Gandalf just yells at them, "Fly, you fools!" And then he falls, and what we don't know is when he's falling, he's fighting the Balrog all the way. He catches his sword in midair, and the fight goes on. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but it's on YouTube if you haven't seen it, and it's a long fight. Anyway, that is a better story. Another story that is the same as that is when Worf fights the Jemadar soldiers one by one, and they all come close to killing him. Each soldier is stronger and stronger because they learn from Worf's mistakes. And at the end, the shapeshifter people come over and they say, "Just kill him." And Jemadar commander, he looks at Worf and he says, he cannot be defeated. His spirit is unbroken. He's not telling us that he can't be killed. He's telling us that he's going to keep getting up over and over and over. And Worf confesses on a different show that Martok looks in Worf's eye, and Worf was going to lower his guard for the Jem'Hadar to kill him on the next pass. And Martok, who lost his eye, said, "Don't give up. Put him back in the fight. Keep going." And when Grand Negus quit WoW 2 years ago, it affected me. But you know what I did? I didn't let it crush my spirit. Instead, I decided I have to be the person that gets up and keeps going and brings my friends along with me and keeps the story going, because I want this community to prosper. I found a NPC near the Horde Embassy. There's a counterpart as well in Stormwind. The Horde Embassy is called...
Wait. Before you go on past that, I want to go back to Worf just for 1 second, because I had a funny thing. Had a funny thing happen the other day. I listened to a lot of Columbo, a lot of podcasts like Columbo and Murder, She Wrote. And so they were talking about the Bye Bye Sky High episode. Have you ever seen Columbo?
I've seen almost all the Columbos, but not in order. I really should watch them back from the beginning.
So you remember the one where they go to the Mensa-like place, and the guy has killed his partner with using the Vitrola. It's okay. Anyways, the guy's name is Theodore Bickle, and I had to comment because they were talking about him. You know, when in the podcast that I listened to, I won't mention it, but they were talking about the different actors and stuff, and they were talking about what this guy had been in, and I'm like, but that's Worf's father. and that's where I know Theodore Bickle from. You know, he was... Oh, wow. Remember he was Worf's father he adopted father.
I know who Peter Falk is, because he's an actor. He's still doing acting, even though he's only got one eye. He has a glass eye.
He's dead.
But I don't know who the actor is that you mentioned.
You know, the guy that plays Worf's father. Anyways, let's go on. You go on with your week. I'm just digressing.
I wish I could follow along.
It's okay.
My mind's not all there.
I'm sorry. Go ahead with your week.
So anyway, I go through Orgrimmar and I'm on an alt, and I walk by this character that says, "Do you want to be a guide?" And I go, "What's a guide?" So it's called Ayla Path Leader. She's a board recruiter. So you talk to her, and if you have level 60 and 3,000 quests completed, she gives you a mentor status. So you join channel newcomers to the game, and all the new players have a little Murloc head or a little chicken head above their head, their portrait. So when you walk around Orgrimmar, you see all these Murloc people pass you, and these little chickens. I think chickens are returning players, and Murlocs are people who've never played. So I rock up to them, and if they're on the same realm or a connected realm, I hand them 5,000 gold, 532 slot bags, and I tell them pay it forward. And they're like, "I don't understand." "Really?" I go, "If you find a new player in the starting zone who's never played the game, give them 100 gold and 1 bag. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do to repay me." And also, people can ask questions. They go, what's the green thing above your head?" Well, you know, I volunteer for Blizzard. It's something they've taken from Final Fantasy XIV. Brandigus was speaking about it one time. They mentored the new players by giving them instructions on how to find stuff. So one player was a level 29 orc warrior. He had no idea to play the game.
Oh,
but he's
wow.
on Jubithos. He's asking me, what's an heirloom? I go, it's an Undercity. You have to visit SL Gendry, and you have to buy a weapon from her that you can scale up to level 59. So, of course, he plays a Fury Warrior, and he wants a two-hander. I go, you play a Fury Warrior, you need a one-hander, you need to make a copy of it, and when you get Titan's Grip, you can get a two-hander. So what does he do? I give him 85K, and he buys a two-hander, he upgrades it to max, and he goes, I've only got 14K left. I go, well, you're out of a weapon. You could buy the other one-hander for 650 gold, and now you can't upgrade it because you spent all your gold on the wrong item. So, lesson learned.
Yes.
And he battle tagged friends, me, and we keep talking and talking. Oh, there's a Murloc walking by me. And I said, do you want something useful for the game? He goes, I'm kind of busy right now. This kind of busy right now attitude that everybody has for this entire expansion. I get that from somebody who's been playing for 1 week. Oh, I'm doing something.
Right.
So I go see what he's doing. He's in Zuldazar, trying to take on an elite by himself. The elite keeps one-shotting him over and over and over. He's going to be there for 4 hours. I don't have that kind of time. I have 5 minutes to help him before I pull wife aggro. And he goes, I asked him for 60 minutes, and you come to Ogremar. And he just keeps ignoring me. Finally, he goes, oh, yes, I can come to Ogremar later. I go, can you come now? Like, I'm going to help you. Just come to Ogremar. So I summon him with the summoning stone in the Cleft of Shadows. He's there instantly. He doesn't have to figure out how to get there.
Right.
Then I use the mage, my spare mage, to teleport him to Dalaran and North Ren. Then I put him directly in front of the vendor, May Francis, near the toy shop or near the pet shop. And I say, do you see Reigns of the Traveler's Thunder Mammoth? He goes, yes, I see it, but I only have 14K. I'm short 16K. I said, no, you don't understand. Don't go broke. I'm asking you if you see the item. He goes, yes, it's 20,000 gold. So I open a trade window. I've already given that player 85,000 gold for his weapon. I gave him an extra 20,000 gold for that mount.
Wow.
And I said, pay it forward. So he still has gold to play the game. He's still got 32 slot bags. He's not going to be poor unless he tries to go buy all the heirlooms. I told him, don't buy heirlooms right away. It's very, very expensive. So I'm trying to slowly get people to understand all you need to start is a weapon. Everything else you can get later.
Right. And the weapon gives you some 10% XP.
No, the weapon scales with you. You don't have to fill that slot and look for weapons all over the place. People are such a hurry to get the max level. The guy asks me, he goes, should I get Dragonflight now? I go, no. He goes, should I buy Shadowlands? I go, no. I go, once Dragonflight launches in a few weeks, you're going to get Shadowlands for free. All you got to do is be around for the beginning event, and then it'll become part of the subscription. You won't have to pay for it. So he says $54 or whatever US. So I went and I went ahead and gifted Shadowlands Basic Edition to one of my friends.
Oh, wow.
So I had to pay $6 Canadian tax, which is fine. The government wants their money. They want their cut.
Well, they do so much with it, especially with healthcare.
Yeah. They pave the roads. They give themselves bonuses. They try to pay off the national debt by spending more. Save by don't do what we say. Don't do what we do.
Right. Exactly.
So anyway, I gave him the base expansion, and then I said, when you get it on Friday, upgrade it to Epic. He goes, I can't. I go,
Hey, Captain Adonis.
I go, you should be able to just upgrade that. He goes, no. He goes, Blizzard made it so that if you get the base edition, you have to upgrade to Epic. You get a refund of the base of your Blizzard balance. I go, that's stupid. It's just Blizzard doesn't want to handle refunds because of the collector's editions. People buy the collector's edition, can't play until the game's launched. So they buy a base edition of Dragonflight, and they don't want to handle refunds, so they credit you Blizzard balance. So they owe you money, but not real money. You'll pay yourself in gold or whatever. So anyway, I'm a little frustrated with that. Like, I made a gift to my friend, but he wants to mount the pet, the 60 days of game time, and the boost. So he's kind of stuck. He's going to have to buy Epic later and get a refund on what I gave him, the gift I gave him. That was not my intent. I'm sorry I did that for him. I picked up a lot of wife aggro this week, and I upgraded my legendary, and I like the story of the Kobyashi Maru from Star Trek II, the Wrath of Khan, where Christy Alley has to do the exam, and she flunks miserably. She destroyed everybody. Uhura's laying dead on the floor. Spock's Captain Spock's leaning over the console and all this stuff, and is like, well, that didn't work. And she goes, that was not a fair test.
No,
and Kirk goes, really? It wasn't? You didn't learn anything? He goes, you have to face the possibility that there's a no-win scenario. And later, Kirk gets to meet his son, who is his girlfriend didn't tell him she was pregnant. His son tells Christy Alley that Kirk cheated to pass the exam. He reprogrammed the condition, so it was possible to save everyone.
Right.
So they gave him a starship because of that. And basically, he was the youngest captain in the fleet. So it's a good story element, but it's not. Nobody has to die. So anyway, at the end of Star Trek 2, hello, I'm recording. Sorry. So at the end of Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, everybody's going to die. Kirk yells down to Scotty, Scotty, I need warp speed now or we're all dead. And it's very tense moment. You don't know what's going to happen. Basically, the movie's off the rail at that point, and Ricardo Montalban, who's the actor who does Khan, he wins by basically killing off everyone with the wave thingy that's going to make a planet, right? So they're in this nebula. They can't outrun the guy. They can't get warp speed. Everything looks badly for Kirk and Spock. And you see Spock, he doesn't say anything. He just turns, gets a look on his face, and he walks away. That's how a good story is told. Like he doesn't have to say what he's thinking. He's going to disobey the captain. He's going to go down to the engine room, and he's going to fix it. And he fixes it by sacrificing himself. And it's the crappy Disney story where you sacrifice one of your friends to make the story happen. Of course, Gene Roddenberry was not gonna let Spock die. He brought him back in the search for Spock, which that's the proper Star Trek way of doing things. And I love how in WoW they tell those stories where the character dies, but then they come back as a ghost and they fix it. They let you have your good ending. I don't want to spoil the story for Anduin. But Anduin has that moment where they redeem him. They don't let him die. Right. And that is the correct way to tell a story, I think. I think there's many stories to tell. Star Trek, the old Star Trek is the proper Star Trek. The new Star Wars, the new way of doing Star Wars is not Blizzard. Walt Disney bought the Star Wars franchise from George Lucas. They're starting to repeat the Star Wars, the Walt Disney formula where they kill off one character you like all the time, and they make you care for that character before they kill it, and then everybody's happy at the end. Like that is a bad story. Jon Favreau did The Mandalorian. He did an amazing story where there's fight scenes. The guy doesn't take off his helmet because he doesn't have to. All he's got to do is stand there with the body language that says that his brain's on fire and he's going to win the day no matter what. And he doesn't have to take off his helmet. He tells the good story by not saying anything and having, I think his name is Pasquale. He's a Mexican actor. He's great. I love him in all his movies. He's so good. All his lines are amazing. Anyway, Mandalorian, they do a proper storytelling with lots of space battles and conflict. Cara Dune, she's the actress who used to be in Deadpool 1. She's a bigger lady. She has a big frame on her. And the Disney Mandalorian, she fights like a guy. She picks up a guy, punches him in the face, throws him across the floor. She takes on one of those walkers thingies with the 2 cannons on it. And they bring it down and the Mandalorian kills it. So they're amazing. They tell such a good story. Jon Favreau, they have a space battle where it would have cost, I guess, too much to do the computer animation.
Pedro Pascal?
Pedro Pascal, that's the guy. Okay. He's so good. They had him on the Late Late Show with
Dreadnought.
James Cohen. Yeah, he's so good. It's worth watching all the seasons of The Mandalorian over and over. The story is very well told. You have the story of us, the heroes, taking on these elites that are impossible to bring down. You have to bring a friend, otherwise you're gonna die to the elite mob without the mob, ever being in danger of dying. They had George Lucas, when he did A New Hope with Star Wars, there was supposed to be another player in there, another actor, Reg, who was supposed to be Luke's wingman. Well, Reg got cut out of the movie because Spielberg told Lucas that he made a bad movie. They rearranged the 5 segments of the movies, and at the end, Han Solo comes out to shoot the TIE fighter next to Darth Vader so that Luke can do the shot of his X-Wing at 200 yards into the well, and you hear Obi-Wan Kenobi in his head saying, "Let go. Don't use the computer. The computer is slowing you down. You're going to die. You have to let go. You have to trust the Force." And It's a really good story. It's engaging because I had to go downtown on Thursday, and I'm only driving 20 kilometers, but the city where I live, near Vancouver, is like the traffic is second worst in North America. It's just like driving in LA. And Siri is trying to do the GPS for me to get me there faster. All the side streets are blocked. Traffic is at a standstill in many locations. And I get to this intersection, and Siri tells me to do 4 U-turns. I look down at the GPS. Obviously, Siri is completely berserk at this point.
Right.
She doesn't know what to do.
She can't deal with it.
There's a little stop sign in the middle of a concrete thing, and she's telling me to circle that twice because she can't figure out that I have to go straight to get to the side street. And then once I finally get downtown, Siri goes, turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, because it's all one-way streets, and she's trying to navigate me to the Cordova and Homer.
Oh.
All she had to say is Cordova. I would have figured it out to go around in the bigger circle and drive slower, safer. But instead, I'm cutting off other vehicles in traffic, going as fast as I can at the risk of flipping the vehicle over, taking the curves as hard as I can, speeding, double the speed limit. Just tell me where you want me to go. My brother says he uses a Google phone. You hook that thing in the windows, and Google puts a triangle on the structure you're trying to get to. So you can see on the Google phone a picture of what you're looking at through your windshield. If you're trying to get to the Empire State Building, it puts a triangle on it to say that's where you're going.
Oh, kind of like the way you figure out how to do a quest.
No, it's
Well, World of Warcraft, when you're going towards a quest, it puts a little triangle on it so you can.
Yeah, it says 600 yards to this target.
Yeah, right. It's
so you see through. You see through what you're trying to do. Yeah. They do that in science fiction. They do like the 3-dimensional map that has an overlay.
I think the Apple app does it. The Apple map instead of the Google map does that too. Because I was walking somewhere and it showed me a physical representation of where I was walking.
Siri is just not able to tell us fast enough.
Not Siri. I'm talking about Apple Maps.
Yeah. But they use the voice of Siri to give the directions when they're using the GPS for Google Maps.
Right, but not Google Maps. Apple Maps.
I have to download that.
It's already downloaded. Anyways, I just wanted to say that Dreadnought said that Pedro Pascal was also exceptional as the lead in Narcos.
Oh, I think I have to see that. I haven't seen it yet.
Cool,
he's good at whatever he does. He's exceptional. He's a very gifted actor. He loves who's that actor? The white guy who did Ghost Rider. Come on.
Dreadnought?
Come on, not Dennis Quaid. Take care. Can't think of the actor. He's been married many times. He's broke because he didn't pay taxes for 5 years.
Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage, yeah. He loves Nicolas Cage.
Thank you, Dreadnought.
He loves Nicolas Cage. And we saw him on the plane. He was shaking. He's like, I have to act with him. He's like a big fan. He's like a super fan of Nicolas Cage. He has to act as this big drug dealer who hires Nicolas Cage to come to his house and do a party, and then he gets busted, so he has to get Nicolas Cage out of his compound without getting caught. It looks like the best movie ever. I'd pay $30 to watch that at the movies.
No, the best Nicolas Cage is Family Man. That was one of Vrishna's favorite.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's great. It's really great.
But there was something else I want to talk about in the movie. But yeah, the stories in WoW are what keeps bringing me back, and I want to share those stories, and I want to experience them as well with friends. I started doing Mythic Dungeons, but it's very taxing. I like it. I'm so burnt out after the end of the dungeon. We did one of Tazavesh 2, the Solia's Gambit. I had 2 keystones. We finished with 45 seconds on the clock. And then the mob count was at 98%. So we had to run quickly backwards to pull another mob. Otherwise, we weren't going to get our loot. And when you do a mythic, you trade all the loot at the end. You don't care if you got something or not. You're just so grateful to pass the test and to succeed that you'll give away all this. Like somebody asked me, "Oh, you got a trinket with leech. I'm a tank. Can I have it?" I don't care about that thing. I don't tank. I just DPS and Frost are unholy. You can have all the loot. I don't care. I just want to get this quest done for 4 mythics. I go. It's unimportant with the loot that I got. I'm just so happy to finish this quest.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but Dreadnought said that Family Man is his favorite, her favorite movie. And it is, you have to see it. It's just a wonderful movie. The little girl is so cute. Promise you won't drain me and my brother's brains. It's just so cute.
Oh, Family Man?
Yes. It's the one where he wakes up well, I'm not going to tell the things, but it's a really good movie. And they got the best characters, the best actors. The little girl was so good.
I have to write that down.
Oh, 53.
I think that's pretty much been my week. Oh, there was something in the Torghast. I found a vendor that sells cosmetic on Torghast 10, and I bought the best looking shoulders in the game. They're Ventier shoulders, they're full of spikes. I haven't worn any shoulders on my rogue since Cataclysm. I put always shoulders hidden because all the shoulders for rogues just look so ugly. Like, there's just nothing to wear. And I was doing that. I put a screenshot in the notes of Constructs 1, my main, with the Ventier shoulders. I have the tabard of the Demon Hunter from Legion. I have the hat from Fishing, or there's a quest with a dirigible in not Swamp of Sorrows, the other one, near Mudsprocket.
Oh, Dark Wallow Marsh.
That's Swallow Marsh, yeah. So I got the dirigible hat. I always transmog my blades to look the same. I got an axe. I don't care about the look of the axe, so I transmog it to swords. And I make all my boots and everything look green because I like that color variant. It's the color of moissanite. If you look up in rare and precious stones, moissanite is a second in hardness to diamond. So there's the hardest thing on Earth is diamond. The second hardest in the precious stones is called moissanite. It's a green, semi-green, off color. I have that in my wedding ring, and that's pretty much been my week.
Awesome. Oh, excellent. Oh, how you doing? I get excited. I get giddy and love making mini alts. My dog is trying to poop for the Horde and for the Alliance. It was funny in my head.
Brilliant. How was your weekend gaming in VR? I watched you the other day.
Did you? What did you watch?
No Man's Sky.
Oh, but it didn't work.
Where you had trouble logging in. I'm like,
it never showed up, which I'm kind of frustrated because I paid $30 for that game.
Get a refund or get them to fix it.
Yeah, it's complicated because it's really a flat screen game. Yeah, and so it doesn't work very well. It's not. It wasn't created specifically for VR. And interesting. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about today is that VR is very complicated. And because of that, it creates a kind of barrier for people to actually join in. I put a shot in the show notes of my my rig, which I have to wear every time I play. And that's another barrier. Yeah. Some people might not want to wear something over their head.
For me, it's a space constraint. Like you don't see, but I only have like about 6 or 7 inches on each side of the chair. There's no room for anything like that.
And you do need, and speaking of that, you do need room. And it's funny you mentioned that because in Population 1, they change the parameters of the game every once in a while. Last week I was talking about how they brought in something called SMG Mayhem.
Right.
Where you could only use certain guns and you couldn't use sniping. And sniping is is a big thing because people will get really good at the sniping, and then they'll go somewhere where they can just peek over the edge with their gun and shoot. Right. And that's not very challenging. So when they brought in the SMG Mayhem last week, it was you were more up close to people, and it was interesting. Well, they really changed it. They brought in Sword Mayhem.
Oh, wow.
Which is only swords and grenades. And
I think the Mech Warrior franchise has the Hatchet Man, which is insane considering you can't get to the target with them quickly. But the Hatchet Man has a devastating weapon which chops stuff off the other mech. Like the big robot cannot survive those kinds of hits. So can you survive a hit from a sword, or is it one shot?
It's not one shot. The swords, everybody has a sword, so it's really, and that's the only weapon you have. And what I've learned is if you strike straight up and down, you get 75 damage. So if you do it twice, you can kill somebody. But one of the things I've been doing, and I found that helps, is if before you go to sword somebody, you drop some grenades on them. That does some damage. So when your damage comes in, and it's really exciting. I actually put a clip in the show notes. If the chat room wanted to go to CtrlAltWow.com. The show notes for this episode is already up, and there is a clip in there of me sorting away. But here's the problem. So, and this feeds back into the barrier, the complication of virtual reality and what you were saying about space. So when you're sorting, you're you're physically moving around in your room, in your area.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Normally for VR, you have what's called a guardian. And if you go to step out the guardian or get close to the edge of the guardian, this grid comes up, very reminiscent of the holodeck. You can see the grid and you can tell that you're stepping outside your area or your safe spot.
Is it like when they tell Data or Picard safety protocols are offline?
Yeah, kind of like that. But here's the thing with swinging your sword is that you're doing this and you're going so fast that you actually can go outside your guardian. So I had to move stuff. I had a bookcase over here. I moved that several times in the middle of a heated game. I have heard people go, damn, or boom, or you can hear it and someone's hurt themselves. So it's
they fall over, they trip on something or whatever.
No, you hit. You hit a shelf, you hit something. I've hit this mic a couple of times, but I have to move it back.
Oh wow.
So, and I hit the couch. So because you're swinging, but it's very exciting because two other things come into play. One is they have decreased the gravity so you can fling yourself up. And then in one of the maps that you can play in, which is Metropolis, there are these jump pads. So you jump up in the air and you find yourself in the air chasing somebody. They're chasing you. It looks like this beautiful ballet with swords. So it's really exciting. But here's the thing. I was playing with someone and they said, oh, I gotta go. I want to go shoot people. So you don't have a gun. There's no guns.
Yeah.
And some people can't enjoy themselves without. The shooting is distance. The shooting is comfort zone. This is totally outside your comfort zone. But here's the best part of all of the sword mayhems. To every single one that I've played, the people have been enjoying themselves. There's no one screaming, why did you do that? You suck. You need to pull back. You don't know what you're doing. It's just pure fun and madness. Although I did have a funny thing happen. One of my teammates was friended somebody in the lobby. In between games, you end up in the lobby, and they do this, and I talked about this before, but they do this really neat thing is in the lobby, there's 4 to 6 people on each team. So you play a game with ... these 4 people. Well, when you get in the lobby, they mix it up. And so now the person that you were on the team with is now on the other team. And as long as you don't exit out of the lobby, you will continue to be with the same people. But people come and people go, so it's an interesting turnover. But this guy had friended somebody in the lobby in between games, and he didn't want to shoot. He didn't want to stab him. He was trying not to stab him, and the guy killed him. I said, I always kill my friends. That's the beauty of the game, is that you're still in combat. You're still fighting, even if you are if you friended them. Okay, so what else? So I put in some of my winning games. I actually had a really good one where I got like 8 kills, which was my best and highest kill. There's a new quest coming out. It's supposed to be Quest 3 or Quest Pro. It's going to be way expensive. Everybody's talking about it. I'm fine with what I got for now. But it should be interesting. What else have I been doing? Oh, I've been playing World of Warcraft. I got your message about the Violet Sands. I put it up, but I haven't sold one yet. There's still 60,000 on Earthen Ring right now.
Yeah, keep listing them all, because they're starting to pick off on other realms. Mm-hmm. What's happening right now is people are waiting. They're either leveling something or they're fleshing out their collections. And they're buying the cheapest possible way to get to the next 100 mounts or the next 50 mounts to get the new mount.
Right, exactly.
So if they get the 400 mounts, they get the bird thingy. If they get the 350, they get the elemental thingy. It's all about catching them at the right time when they're like, oh, I just sold my bind on equip from the raid. Now I have 100K and I don't have anything to spend it on. What can I look at my list of achievement?
Right.
Oh, Violet Sands is 10 points. They didn't buy it for the achievement. Maybe they already have a passenger mount, or they're buying it for somebody else who just got their flying.
Right.
You don't know what the excuse is. They're just looking for a way to spend their gold. So
I took your advice to heart about not bringing out my blueberry during in dungeons. Heroics. Yeah, because it takes away from the tank. And just to look around, I know you said take out the imp, but I wanted to look at my other demons, and I took out my succubus.
Yeah.
And I immediately got a quest. I'm like, why is my succubus giving me a quest? Well, apparently, if you are offended by the succubus,
you can have the
incubus. The incubus is just as
the man.
It's just
the man, or you can have the sword lady. There's 2 different ones.
Well, the succubus is the woman, and the incubus is the male one. But they're both kind of offensive either way. But I took the incubus, so because I'm on me, and he's a guy, so he has a guy. And I was like, you saw me play No Man's Sky. I've been trying other games. I tried Rec Room again. Yeah. But it was too laggy.
Yeah.
I am enjoying the Sword Mayhem, but it's over tomorrow in Population 1, so we'll be back to Team Deathmatch, which is still fun. And
my game bugged out on Wednesday. I think the patch for Dragonflight downloaded, so the day after reset, I had 75 gigabytes to download, and it wouldn't launch no matter what. It got stuck, and it got stuck hard. And there's nothing I could do to start the game. Doesn't matter if I reboot or whatnot. My friend tried to unplug his his external drive to get it to go, and it deleted the game. He had to do a full reinstall because screwed up. He screwed up his folder, and basically,
and the connection.
The text came up. You will no longer be able to play. You have to reinstall from scratch.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, well, I guess you're coming back in 3 days because I don't have time. I don't have time for this. And then it happened to me the next day. I got the update and the swirly, and it just kept saying initializing. And that's all it said for 7 hours in a row. And I'm like, if I bug with this thing, I'm going to lose my WoW folder. His add-ons didn't work for 3 days. So he couldn't download DBM or TomTom. Nothing worked. So when the game installs, I guess they're doing a new talent system. So they're putting a whole bunch and a new interface. So they're putting a whole bunch of stuff in the game that's basically going to completely change the look of WoW. And if you interrupt that process, they're like, too complicated. Just come back when your computer's fixed. They're not going to waste it. That's a Microsoft thing. Microsoft do it that way because if you don't play by their rules, they just make your computer not run properly, and you have to take it in and get Windows reinstalled. They have no time to fix your problem. They're there to sell you a new operating system. I hate Microsoft.
Yeah, I can imagine. But the other thing I've been doing, which is really neat with VR, and I should have put a screenshot, was that you can go into, when you're wearing the headset, you can go to websites that have virtual tours, and you're inside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat. I was like doing some virtual apartment tours just to see what that was like. So that was really neat. And last but not least, I put a screenshot in the show notes of my new pet. And I named it Rom because I got it from Grand Negus. And I just think that the thing about Pokemon is it's neat that because we're friends and we exchange gifts, every once in a while you will send someone an egg. I got an egg all the way from Germany. So what happens is we can get gifts from PokeSpots, and the gifts have different things in it, and we can send them to other people around anywhere. And I have a friend in San Francisco. I have Duvasay who sends me stuff. And, well, Brewdog was sending me stuff. And I thought he was in Florida, but what he's been sending me lately has been from Texas. So it's kind of interesting. When I was on my cruise, I picked up a couple of gifts from the Bahamas, and I was sending them out to people. So Pokemon's kind of neat in that way, in that you can do things around the world, and it's kind of neat. So I want to do a shout out to Grand Negus and thank him for. It's a little Ponyta. It's called Ponyta, Ponyta, But I renamed it Rom after Grand Negus, after Quark's brother. It looks like a female, and I almost wanted to name it Lita, but we have a Lita, so I thought that was kind of neat. And I do want to try. I'm at the screen in Steam where I can refund No Man's Sky. It looked really interesting. It was supposed to be about you go to different planets, and it's kind of reminded me of, has anyone played EVE Online, where you build up bases and you do all these different things with with space travel, and you get ships that you can send on missions. I was kind of looking forward to that. The other thing I'm going to be playing in a little bit is Contractors. They've done some changes with that where you can do different mods. There's even a Halo mod. And I think I talked about this. There's also a World of Warcraft mod where you're like playing in Mulgar and stuff. I did a little Zenith. I went on Zenith and did some stuff on that one. And I also played some Horizon World. But, yeah, it's been fun. And the last thing I did was Supernatural. They have, it's an exercising thing, and it's really neat because while you're exercising, you have a coach in front of you, and he's motivating you or she's showing you how to do exercises, which I probably should do more often. And that's about been my week. We don't have any updates this week, I don't believe. Again, if you want us to write us, you can write us at controlaltwow@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at controlaltwow. And thanks for joining us in the chat room. Thank you, Kyle, wherever you are. I'm Aprillian for the Horde.
I'm Constrax for all those dead DPS on the floor at LFR. I'm part of them.
And for Grand Nagus, Rule of Acquisition, number 19.
Satisfaction.
It's
is
not guaranteed. Bye, guys.
Bye, chat room.
Bye, chat
Thanks
room.
for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. You were great.